Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The Gen Z is watching desperately with a lot of sadness on their faces as the members of parliament passed the Finance Bill 2024. Despite protests and demonstrations, despite the fact that Kenyans had given their thoughts and feelings that they did not want this bill, our members of parliament, our greedy, selfish member of parliament, let me emphasize on that, decided to pass it. The first reading was made after the 15-member committee went to Naivasha to look into the opinions of Kenyans. And with a lot of pressure, William Ruto called for an urgent crisis UDA parliamentary meeting where they brainstormed and they decided that they wanted to hoodwink Kenyans, that they had dropped certain articles. And then the second reading, of course, after the first reading, they debated upon it. The opposition had maintained that this bill must be shut down. It must be shut down entirely. But the government side said that they had looked into the parts that were injurious to Kenyans and they were to shelve those parts and then they pass it. So today on the second reading, they voted. At first, it went through the very process, may the ayes have it, and both of them claimed that they had shouted loud enough. And that disputed when Moses Wetangula said that the ayes have it because the nay side felt that they also had the numbers. So it went through the voting. Your name is called and you vote. And when the result came out, it was 204 that supported that bill and 115. And I must congratulate the members of parliament who stood by Kenyans because it was a moment to understand who are with us and who are supporting our oppressors. The 204 members are supporting Meg Whitman. They're supporting Joe Biden. They are supporting World Bank and IMF. They are our enemies and we now know them. The Gen Z has said that we are not going to give up. A luta continua. In fact, what is now trending because they have formed penchant of mobilizing each and one another on social media. They were saying that we have taken our demonstrations to another level. This is demonstrations in a modern way. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other social media platforms. And they're saying, occupy State House. And that is what is trending. And I've seen some concerned Kenyans are saying, please don't try to go to State House. But then, the big question, the $1 million question that we want to ask today is, how did we find ourselves here today? Because as we continue with this fight, lest we forget, we cannot forget where the rain started beating us. And this is a caution, a warning, and a lesson to Kenyans. I saw many youths from Mount Kenya rallying their support against this bill, and they had warned their members of parliament. Majority of the members of parliament from Mount Kenya voted yes in favor of this bill. I remember in the first bill, the Finance Bill 2023, the avocado farmers cried foul, and they were saying this bill is not good for us. Now, despite all this, Mount Kenya still voted yes. And I'm particular about Mount Kenya for a reason. I have many friends from Mount Kenya. And many a times they regret why they voted William Ruto. They're saying that they were hoodwinked. Someone deceived them to vote for William Ruto. The same sentiments are being echoed by the deputy president, who is now telling us that we were cheated to despise Uhuru, tulimkosea heshima kwa sababu kuna mtu alitudanganya. And the biggest question that we are asking, who is this who has got the powers and the ability to hoodwink a whole Mount Kenya? Are people who have always bragged that they play a very special kind of politics. Modo wa nyumba. There's a joke, and I don't think it's a joke, it's true, that you can talk with a Kikuyu when you are talking politics, and then they will tell you yes, but then they will retreat in their political cocoon, where they will have to assert whether they will agree or go by what you said or go against it. Mkishaongea maybe kwa kamati ama kwa meeting fulani, they will go back and talk among themselves. Now I'm wondering, are people who have always, taken pride in talking to each other and they listen to wazee are now coming out and telling us that someone cheated them? Did you know that this started when William Ruto went there and told them that Uhuru was bad, that Raila was bad? And then they swallowed that bait. And I'm looking at three people. Wafula Chebukati. Wafula is elderly enough and he's got children who are at the age of Gen Z. How does he feel when all this is happening? Martha Koome, who used the non-judicial terms hot air, wild goose chase. Does she have children? Because when you see our children going to the streets, there is a reason why they are going there. They are tired of a government who despises their opinion. How does Martha Karua feel? I know for Meg Whitman, she does not care because she'll be here for a period of time. And if Joe Biden will be defeated, then Meg Whitman might not maintain her position. She might also retire home. She represents the interest of her country here. And I know she's very happy. But Wafula Chebukati and Martha Koome and the entire Supreme Court, how do they feel? They are the reason why we are here today. They procured a president who does not listen to us. He is their baby. When the police go there, beat people, kill people, every blood is on their head. From the demonstrations up to date, every blood, every person that has been fallen, that blood is crying on them. But then, ladies and gentlemen, they say, kosa la kwanza siyo kosa, kurudia ndiyo kosa. Have we learned? Because that is the question that we want to ask. Have we learned? Has Mount Kenya learned? If elections were to be called today, would they vote for, let me just put it very bluntly, if Raila would present himself again, would they vote for him? Because we are not going to have a country where we are given a golden opportunity. Voting only comes once, and we have to live with the consequences for the entire 5 years. We are only 2 years into William Ruto's leadership, and people are crying. People are on the streets. Can you estimate what is going to happen in the next 3 years? Because William Ruto made it clear. There's going to be there had been a Finance Bill 2023, now Finance Bill 2024. Finance Bill 2025 is coming. All these things that you are being told have been exempted from taxes, they are coming in the Finance Bill 2025. But have we learned? Because that is the question. As we go to the streets and we lament and we make noise. Do we know how we ended up here? We allowed politicians to deceive us. Wafula Chebukati procured these results, and Madam Koome stamped that authority. When we tried for the second time to go to the streets, the deputy president, I remember him too well, said Raila wanted to get to the government through the back door. Next time we are given a chance to vote, let us know what we are voting for or who we are voting for. What are the principles? For the Generation Z, some of them did not have a chance to vote in 2022, but they now feel the pangs and the wrath of the decisions that were made on their behalf by some people. I know by now they are wondering. Like I remember one was saying that we were told that Raila ni mganga, Raila ni mbaya, and when we try to scrutinize, amefanya nini? He's only but trying to fight for us, for our freedom. But we are being told is bad. And they are now waking up and realizing that the kind of tribalism that has been going on between their parents do not help them at all. We are a generation that is also responsible for our decisions. That vote is the result of what is happening. For the Gen Z, a luta continua, people have to go to the streets, they have to intensify their cry, because the debate is now going to the bill is now going to the stage where it is going to the committee stage. People who have got some proposal for amendments will register them with the clerk of the National Assembly, and then they are going to scrutinize it bit by bit. Then it will come for a third reading and they will vote. And I can assure you that the voting will remain the same. These people have been bought, their loyalty have been bought by William Ruto. They don't listen to their people, they listen to William Ruto himself. For Mount Kenya, I really pity, because when I see them crying, I remember how they sang Si Uchawi Ni Maombi. And I'm wondering, do we pity them? They made that decision. They were over the moon with joy. Now it is all regrets and gnashing of teeth. And I singled them out because they are the people who have come out and they are saying tusaidie kungoa Ruto. Marafiki zangu wananiambia hebu tuungane tungoe Ruto. And I'm like, why? Tulijua huyu jamaa was going to be this bad. And they say we regret. They voted, they passed it, and I can assure you that not unless there's going to be a miracle, this is going to the third reading and they are going to pass it. As painful as it is your decision. If you voted for Ruto, it is your vote. Someone was telling me, tunakula ujeuri wetu kama ulipigia William Ruto.